So on Tuesday, when the group leader gets their time slot, so in this scenario, Brian is our group leader and we're a group of 3. Once your time slot occurs, so let's say our time slot's going to be 2:15 on Tuesday. Right now it's 2:15. Brian will go into the birdhouse, select applications on the blue navigation bar, select the start button that has been there for all the room selection eligible people. And then this won't show up for you all right now, but it will show up for you on Tuesday. The room selection portion, and where it says begin room selection is where the group leaders are going to click. After that, you'll see just a layout of what is going to happen on day 1, pause day, and day 2, just making sure and reiterating that only unit sizes are filled on the first day, and day 2, you will be able to see any vacancies. And then you'll hit save and continue at the bottom for group leaders, and then you'll see the status of your application because you're selecting for academic year 25-26. The group leader will hit continue on this page, and then you'll be able to see the different spaces. So right now, we as a group of 3 are able to see spaces of 3 within primarily Homewood and Bradford apartments. Prior to us doing room selection, there are accommodations that happen. So there are some spaces in McCoy and Scott Bates that may have spaces of 3 because one other person has already been assigned based on accommodations. So I'm going to have Brian click either Bradford or Homewood apartments. And then we will see all of the spaces that are eligible for us. We won't see any 4 bedrooms. We won't see any 2 bedrooms. We won't see any efficiencies or 1 bedrooms because we are a group of 3. While the group leader is in here, if you're looking for a specific room type, we highly suggest looking at the specific definitions and room types that are in each building. So if you're looking for Scott Bates Commons and you have the room type of 2-bedroom or 4-bedroom, you're not going to see Scott Bates because Scott Bates has 2-person and 4-person. If you're looking at Bradford and Homewood, you're only going to get 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, or 4. But if you are in Scott Bates, Rogers House, and McCoy, you're going to see doubles, singles, as well as 2-person and 4-person for Scott Bates. So just making sure that you are familiarizing yourself with the room types and the language and what that means. So we're going to select into a room and see if it's going to add to cart. We may have technical. No, we don't. Okay. We were having technical difficulties right before, so I'm glad that we don't right now. So here is where the group leader is going to go in and individually assign each bed space to the group members that are in your group. So Brian is up top. He's going to assign himself an A. Sarah's going to be a B, and then I'm going to be in Bradford 907C, which is the individual bedroom that I'm in and sharing a suite with Brian and Sarah. Then you're going to click Assign Spaces. Right now, our classifications don't match, but what it will tell you is a screen that says bed spaces assigned, and then it'll show you a screen to confirm. But that is what room selection within the birdhouse looks like. And that's the short live demo. So that's going to be the process of where all the group leaders go in and select their spaces for their group as well as themselves.
We're going to go through some of the questions in the Q&A. So if you have other questions you would like to ask, make sure that you pop them in there really quick.
We just have 1 or 2 more slides left, and I'm just going to do general reminders, and we'll do questions at the end as well. So who you live with is more important than where you live. You decided based on these room selection application groups that these are the people that you want to live with. We highly suggest making sure that these are the groups that you want, as well as you have a list of the buildings and backups to your backups before you go into selections. Like I said before at the beginning of the presentation, roughly 400 of your class members will be in McCoy, just how our inventory is. Groups of 1, 2, 3, and 4 must fill units on day 1. Vacancies within units will be filled with incoming transfer students at the end of room selection, as well as we go through the spring semester and summer. You are able to reform your group only on pause day for day 2 of selection, which is on not Friday, March 7th. I apologize for the mistake. That is on Thursday, March 6th. And then this is just a reminder for the singles waitlist and when it opens and closes. And then making sure you really are having your planning worksheet with you, and then making sure you are reviewing the buildings as well as the rates that are going to be publicized on Monday. So I would say this concludes the actual formal presentation. And we will take all of the questions that you all have in the screen. So I will start answering the questions. I will ask Brian if he can type the answers in the question on the chat, if that's okay, Brian.
For sure.
So will the location floor plan of the room be displayed when making the selection? So the actual floor plan of the room may or may not be displayed. It depends on the pictures, but the location of where it says Bradford 907, Bradford 207, Scott Bates 902 will be displayed. So if you know you have a specific room or suite type, I would kind of go through at the bottom, seeing which page numbers will have your room. And then on day 1, one of the questions is, if I'm a group of 1, does that mean I'll only see 1-bedroom options? On day 1, you will only see efficiency and 1-bedroom options. On day 2, you will see all vacancies that are in either doubles, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, as well as 2-person vacancies, as well as 4-person vacancies. So we can't say how likely it is to get a single bedroom if you're registered as a 1-person group, because it depends on what the time slots are, because they're randomized. It depends on when you go in and what spaces your peers have picked. What are the earliest and latest time slots on each of the days? So on day 1, the earliest time slot is 12, and the latest time slot, I believe, is 4:45. Every 15 minutes, more group members will be coming in. And then on day 2, the earliest time slot will be noon again. And then I believe the latest time slot will be at 2:45. At 12 p.m. on Tuesday, the first time of registration is for groups of 2, 3, and 4. Later in the afternoon, it's for groups of 1. So there's a question here about how many double rooms are in commons. There are no double rooms in commons. It's a 2-person and a 4-person. So it's really imperative that you know what room types are in each building and what those room types mean. So a 2-person is 2 single rooms within 1 suite. A 4-person is 4 single bedrooms in a suite. A double is commonly known as 2 people in 1 bedroom, and then a 4-person is usually a 4-person suite within McCoy is usually known as 2 doubles, a double, single, or sometimes there is a double and then a single. So right now, we're still building the time slot. So right now we don't have all of the information on each number of time slot. Which building allows 2-person rooms? So this is in Bradford, which is 2 bedrooms. This is also in Homewood, where there's 2 bedrooms. There is Scott Bates Commons, where there's 2 bedrooms, and then in McCoy and Rogers, you'll have doubles where you will share a bedroom together if you're a 2-person group. There are no single rooms. There is no standalone single space in Commons. In Commons, you will be sharing a suite with another person or with 3 other people. In Homewood and Bradford, there are standalone singles, which is a 1-bedroom or an efficiency. Another question that we had is, can gender inclusive groups only pick in certain buildings? No, gender inclusive groups can pick in all of the buildings, but based on your group size. So for example, Brian, Sarah, and I were a gender neutral housing group. We could pick in Scott Bates, we could pick in Bradford, we can pick in Homewood. I don't think we would be able to pick in Rogers House based on the number of people that we had in our group, but we could pick in McCoy. Based on just Rogers House, there's only single bedrooms and then doubles, which are in the long corridor style hallway. So Scott Bates Commons is split into 2 towers, a Scott Tower and a Bates Tower. I think what would be really helpful now until room selection is for you all to check out the Buildings and Rates website, which outlines all of the floor plans that we have for our buildings, where each building is, which suite is on the Scott side, which suite is on the Bates side, and where each 2-person and 4-person suite is. Groups of 3 would be able to go into McCoy because there are a few suites that are a single bedroom and then a double bedroom. So you would be selecting into those spaces. And then if you don't pick on day 1, groups of 3 can pick into McCoy of day 2 if there's one person who is already selected into a 4-person group and suite.
Can you talk about how would a group of 3 fit into McCoy?
Yeah. So a group of 3 can fit into McCoy since we have a few suites that are a double and then a single. So a single bedroom and then a double. 1 person would be in the single, 2 people would be in the double on day 1. On day 2, you'd be able to see all of the vacancies. So whether it's a 4-person suite or just those 3, if they are left, you'd be able to choose either one. If one person has already been selecting into that 1 space in McCoy, or if they're assigned there already. So the general building capacities of how many room types there are in each building we'll send out on Monday, along with the time slots. So you'll be able to see how many 2-person suites there are in Scott Bates, how many 4-persons, how many 1, 2, 3 bedrooms and 4 in Homewood and Bradford, as well as Rogers House and McCoy. You'll be able to see how many doubles there are, how many singles, how many double or single double rooms there will be.